What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to Therapist Logan Reacts. Today we are going to react to a ancient Japanese tradition, and it's kind of in lieu of the upcoming holiday, which is in fact New Year's. So if you're watching this after this, Happy New Year's! I hope everything's going well. I hope your New Year starts off in a positive manner, and I hope you are planning some awesome things for this upcoming year. But today we are talking about the ancient practice of Misogi. So Misogi on Wikipedia is defined as it's a Japanese Shinto practice of ritual purification by washing the entire body. Misogi is related to another Shinto purification ritual, harai. Thus, both are collectively referred to as the Misogi harai. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. Basically, this is a term that I've come across lately, and it's kind of just to find a very demanding, whether it's physically, mentally, psychologically, or emotionally, goal to kind of have. It's a identity-defying event or goal to have for the year. It's something you pick to kind of change your perspective and just really test your mental endurance, your the demand of physicality, and just overall just being able to kind of dedicate yourself to something important that you are unlikely to accomplish. It's kind of to find connection in failure. Basically, what I found on Misogi is like you want to pick something that like you're like 50% chance of failing, because it allows you to become again comfortable in the uncomfortable, and I think that's a really cool concept. You know, like picking this thing that's kind of yearly. It defines your year essentially. You want to pick something that defines your year, something that will change you for the better, will leave you with an experience that's pretty much defying kind of what your past, and kind of allows you to again just adapt and create into a new person, which I think is awesome. I think it's a really cool concept. You know, I've done a lot of awesome experiences, but never really anything referring to like Misogi. So I just think this is a really interesting topic. You know, there's a lot of cool dynamics that kind of run through this, you know, especially in the therapeutic community. Typically, I see a lot of things like new year, new me, and I like that idea because we're always constantly changing. I look at life through being in a state of constant change, and being able to direct that change in the best and most positive direction we can. I know it's not accurate for everybody, and I know that's a difficult frame of mind for some people. But I think this is awesome because it allows for a controlled change, something to kind of, again, promote the idea of like discipline and really holding yourself to a standard to complete a goal that you really want to, that's going to define you, as well as push your psyche, your physicality, your emotional state to kind of its like peak essentially. So I really just think this is a really cool concept. And then it also kind of brings me to the idea of like what SMART goals are. So in therapy, we kind of come up with SMART goals. I remember learning about this in grad school like a few years ago. And it's just really important. This is something I work with individuals, with some of my clients, because it can kind of break it down too. You know, Misogi is kind of difficult because it's one grand event. It's one grand thing to kind of do, and you have to really break down those into many steps. And sometimes it can be kind of difficult. So I know a lot of people may not be doing the Misogi, which is perfectly fine. Again, it's not you have to do this. It's not I'm pushing this. I just think it's a cool concept. And if you are doing this, that's really cool. I'd really be curious to kind of see what you're doing. But if you want kind of a lesser version, a less stressful version, this is something you can kind of look for as well. So when it comes with the typical thing of coming up with a New Year's resolution, whatever that may be, which is again kind of the entire theme, the parallel to what I'm trying to talk about is if you come up with a goal for the year, the new year that's coming up, the thing we're about to move into, you know, it's really interesting to see that how we define our goals is really important, you know, and you really want to take in these 5 letters when creating a goal, especially if you want to go kind of, again, just make a route. This one you're like more confident in succeeding. It's probably like 75% and above that you're like, yeah, I can do this kind of deal, like a little bit more confidence. And again, Misogi is is a little bit less, it's more likely for failure, because again, it's supposed to push you a little bit further. But smart goals are ones that you can kind of, again, really kind of knock out. So we're just gonna break down. So we got S, we got specific. So break it down to a T as much as you can, as much information in that goal as you can. This just makes the goals clear, makes them really specific. It really, again, just defines what goal, what you're looking for to complete, and what box to kind of tick off. Measurable, so you can measure it, you can look at for data, you can define the measurable assets within the goal, so that way you can track it a little bit more, you can stay up to date on it a little bit more. It just allows you to, again, just make sure you have that measurable factor. We have attainable. Don't give yourself a goal that you're unlikely to attain, because again, we're trying to push ourselves, but we're also trying to make sure it's something that we can accomplish, even maybe with a few setbacks. It's something really attainable. Confirm your goals are attainable by, again, making sure that even if I hit a few setbacks, even if I struggle, even if there's some bumps in the road, I'm still capable of steering and adhering to that adversity. Make sure they're relevant. Verify your goals are relevant to who you are, your morals, your identity, your perspective on life. Again, just relevant to who you are. Don't do something completely out of the whack that's just not you, because it's going to be lack of motivation. It's going to be a factor in that component if it's not relevant to you. And something that's time-based. Maybe set up a time-based plan. That's something you can do. You can kind of write it out on a schedule. You can write it out on a calendar. You can kind of break it down, again, into those specific, measurable, attainable, and relevant steps over a timely period. So this is just, again, another idea if you want to look into creating a New Year's resolution. Again, you could go either or with this. I think there's, again, different frames of thoughts and different pros and cons to each kind of thing. But I know SMART goals can be really easy to break down and be a little bit easier. So before we move on, I want you guys to comment down below if you would think you're going to do a SMART goal for this New Year's resolution, or if you're thinking about doing a Misogi challenge, essentially. I'm really curious to see what you guys have and what you guys are thinking, what's really true to you, what you're thinking about. So make sure you comment down below right now what kind of goal you're looking for, and maybe it doesn't fall in between either of these two. I'm just curious about to see what goal you have, or what you want for this upcoming year, what you want for you, what you want to accomplish, just what you want that will help you better yourself, and again, grow in whatever area or field you want to. So go comment that right now. But yeah, so I'm also going to share my SMART goals as well as Misogi. So yeah, so I'm going to continue on. So my Misogi is, I would like to hike to the top of a mountain in New Zealand. So I like to travel a lot, and I like to travel and have new experiences as much as possible. New Zealand is an idea as a potential vacation spot, but I also want to push myself kind of along that as well. I think that would be a really interesting thing, because they're so known for their beautiful hikes, their beautiful mountain ranges, and I know a lot of there's plenty of very physical trails that you would need to do and hike, and I really want to see if there's a day one that I can kind of do that really pushes myself to the limits, to really see just certain views, certain things that are just really, really impeccable, certain beautiful, and something that I really just think would really kind of test my bounds, because that'd be something very strenuous that I would do on a vacation. I don't really do that. I typically like doing vacations, and I like doing excursions here and there, but I never did anything to kind of push myself outside of like physical, emotionally, or psychologically while I'm traveling. So I've never really done that specifically. Maybe psychologically when I went to Japan a little bit, kind of like immersing myself in the culture, trying to be confident in speaking, but I wouldn't really consider that Misogi, because I was already interested in that and I was just trying my best, and again, I was able to revert to English. But this is definitely something that I think will be my Misogi, really define my year, just doing something strenuous, doing something that's kind of difficult. And again, I don't even know if I'm gonna actually make it to New Zealand this year. We'll see. and kind of go from there. So this again is just a big goal I think would really kind of open my eyes to certain things. So yeah, that's my Misogi goal for the year. And then I have 2 SMART goals right here. So my 2 SMART goals is getting my LPC license, and that stands for Licensed Professional Counselor. That is currently what I'm getting hours for. If you're not aware of that, when you graduate out of grad school, you are not licensed as a professional counselor. So after 3 years of grad school, you also have 2 years in order to get your hours. You have 2 years minimum that you have to work towards. You have to work, you have to get full hours, you have to get supervision. There's a whole bunch of different things. You have to get 3,000 hours total. So 3,000 hours total. So that goes from working hours, and then you need 1,500 direct hours. So that's direct interaction with clients, families, groups, couples, whatever it may be, direct interaction in a therapeutic setting. And then you also need, I believe, 75 individual supervision hours. So I need to have a supervisor that also holds the same license as me and meet with them about a weekly to bi-weekly standard. So that way they are typically more of a master in the arts. They've been in the field for longer, and they're able to kind of guide me and allow me to learn and make me think differently. So that's usually a good thing. And then another 75 in just groups. So others with LPCs or social work degrees, whatever it may be, but somebody that holds, again, an LPC as the supervisor. That's one of my goals. I am looking pretty good on my hours. I still have to, and along with all those hours, I have to pass a national counselor's exam. So that's a state board exam, and I'll be taking that in Pennsylvania in some of these upcoming months. I started studying a little bit, but I really need to set that too. But I need to pass that test as well as get all my hours in order to achieve my SMART goal. And I have it written down. I have my hours laid out. So that's how I'm, again, measuring it. It is timely. I'm still on my timeline that I anticipate, as well as it's something attainable. I know I can attain it. That's what I've been working for since I started grad school. And it's, again, what I wanted to start. Along with the LPC, it allows me to open up a whole bunch of different doors for me. So I think that's pretty cool. And then my second SMART goal is a videography business. So once my, I think I spelled business wrong though. I want to start a videography business. I want to start an LLC. I really want to kind of take that seriously. It's been a little bit since I've really done a lot of big projects, but I really want to do that. And that's, again, something that is very measurable. I can start an LLC. I can really start practicing. I have good videography skills. I have plenty of equipment, but I really want to focus on making a name for that business per se, even maybe bringing on a few different workers, especially some freelancers, and kind of go from there. So that's definitely something that I think is also very attainable. I have the skills still. I have the necessary requirements for that. And it's just, another goal that I want to accomplish this upcoming year. So those are my 2 SMART goals and my Misogi goal. Again, one's really, really kind of specific and really, hopefully, I'm definitely going to push myself for. And the other one should be attainable, pretty solid. Again, just examples to kind of show you if you were going to do, again, both maybe like me and kind of go from there. But yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know in the comments down below if any of these surprise you, or if you have any questions about them. I can go into detail a little bit more about them, we can kind of go from there. But make sure you drop a like on this video and make sure you're subscribed as well. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you next video. I will see you then.